guitar.
Okay. I guess we're live again, ladies and gentlemen. Third
And we're
time's the
back.
charm. Oh man, it just keeps going wrong. Everything I do is a mistake. Uh,
It's it's Monday. It's Monday, and it's one of those days.
well, I thought having a bunch of shows scheduled in advance, being on top of it, being organized, would be a good thing. What I didn't realize is when you're in the heat of the moment and you click the wrong live stream and start that show, that's a problem. That's a
Hmm.
problem.
Yeah, I can see that being a problem.
Yeah, the more you work ahead, the more stuff you have to stay on top of. Just so you
Yeah.
know.
Exactly. I'm finding that out. I thought I was being really good trying to get on top of things. Uh,
Well,
well,
you were being good until you hit the wrong link.
The first time it was not your fault. You got nuked.
correct.
Second
I'm
time,
gonna I'm gonna just say I got flustered. That's YouTube's fault. Everything is YouTube's fault, as always. Um,
stream taken down again. Damn it.
yeah, sorry to those of you in the chat. Really sorry about all the confusion. The first show got nuked. Uh, on the second one, I went into the wrong scheduled show. Started it. It was for Pictionary on Friday. Had to exit that and start this again. I do apologize. What a mess.
So if you click the Pictionary reminders, go find the new one when he posts it and click that reminder.
Yes, indeed. All right. So, shall we actually get a show going? How about that?
Yep.
Let's do
So,
it.
hello
like a
everyone that
plan.
just joined and came back like smiling bandito. There's some boomer rock band saying ha ha ha. There's AIDS in the house. Dave Bristolian Dave. And Chris saying, Sim, repent your heresy and the Pope may forgive you.
Oh man.
But then you won't be able to brag about being banned in the Vatican.
I am banned in the Vatican. My
As I was
channel
saying, if the
is.
Pope forgives you, then you won't be able to brag about it.
I know. I don't want to.
Now this one I know I won't get nuked over, but damn, this product looks absolutely insane. I don't even know if this is officially available or if it's some kind of custom job, but it looks really cool.
Nice.
And then you got this back here.
Sweet.
It's a statue.
Yeah.
Yeah. This thing is wild. I love it. Very
Yeah,
cool.
there's 3 pieces in one.
Yeah, that's nice stuff.
Yep.
How did you guys feel about Joker?
Didn't see it yet.
Oh,
You
I
haven't
dug
seen
it.
it?
I dug
You
it.
like?
I thought it was a good way to tell a story that hasn't quite been told.
Yeah. I mean, it certainly follows pretty close in line with what is that other film with De Niro, the original like King of Comedy or something like that. Very similar storyline, but certainly this added some unique elements, uh, especially because the narrator of the story, Joker, is so unreliable. You really don't know where reality begins and the
Weren't
illusion.
people comparing it to Cab Driver or something like that? But
Certainly, I mean, it's not nearly as close to Taxi Driver,
Taxi
but
Driver.
yeah, it certainly shares some DNA with that as well.
It does. There's that whole like I'm losing my mind kind of aspect to it. You know, I would think that Taxi Driver was more of a well, like I don't see the guy in Taxi Driver as being like somebody who has a mental issue. You know what I mean? As much as he's just somebody who's just broken by society.
Right.
Whereas the Joker, you know, had a mental issue, and then on top of that, society pushed that issue to a breaking point.
Right.
Yeah,
You
I
know what I
think
mean?
it's weird. I think the only reason why I haven't seen it, what the turn off for me, is because it's called the Joker. Doesn't seem like it's the Joker, but
Well, until
they,
you watch it,
hold
when
on.
you watch it,
They
it
could
will.
to me it came off as Pagliacci. So that the entire like premise of it reminded me of that old theater piece, like opera. that
Yeah, I
inspired
know what you're
that
talking about.
inspired the Joker. And the makeup is the same. It's similar, not the same, but similar. It's more like his than the actual Joker. So
Mm.
Well,
that's why when I
I
looked
think
at it, I'm like, but everybody keeps telling me it's a good movie. It looks good, but to me,
I
it
don't know.
just doesn't seem like the Joker, right?
He reminds me of like
I will
if you
check
were
it out.
if you were trying to bridge the Cesar Romero Joker with the Heath Ledger Joker,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? It
Okay.
seems like that's where that lies. You know, I mean, I don't think
Okay.
they're doing that on purpose, but I
Yeah.
definitely can see that being like a bridge between those two.
How would you feel if things started moving that direction, where it's much more grounded, kind of more realism brought to the table in terms of the comic book movie franchises?
I think that's where Batman was when they had the Michael Keaton, and then they started going to like when they got to the point of Batman Forever, it was just ridiculous.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
How
because
you
the
doing,
Michael
Pressure
Keaton,
Luke?
yeah, because the Michael Keaton Batmans were somewhat believable as far as
Dark, gritty.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why
Yeah.
that's why I like the Snyder stuff. I
What
know
was that,
there-
Rob?
there's a lot of people that don't like the Snyder DC stuff, but I like it. I just don't like. I really hate Justice League, and the Superman versus Batman is way better with the extended cut because it makes no sense. The other one,
Right. Sorry,
the
Pressure
extra
Luke.
half hour was really really needed.
Well, when you change creative teams in the middle
Wow.
of shit, it does fuck things up.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've started this show and had so many mishaps. I can't remember if I even if I introduced you yet or not.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. They're going on their own tangent.
Nice. How is it? Are you still in demand with your project?
Yes, I am.
Nice, nice. Feel free to drop that link in the chat. I'm sure I've given you a wrench.
Oh, right. Yes. Good point.
Cool. So today I wanted to talk about killing vices, which is on the forefront of my mind, just because I'm in the process of making a lot of changes in my life.
I wonder how many people like thought you just typoed and they thought the subject was going to be killing voices.
Well, maybe there's a connection there. We'll explore that a little bit. Today I've crossed the three week threshold in terms of alcohol. Haven't had any alcohol for a few weeks. Feeling really good about that.
How are you sleeping?
Been sleeping great. My energy levels are much higher. I've got more money in my wallet. That's for sure. So yeah, the next big one for me is these little bastards, the cigarette. I need to break this, and I'm gonna start before the show. Officially, I've had my last cigarette, so I want to break this little habit because it's been going on way too long, and I'm hoping to just maybe get into a discussion about some advice, tips, best ways to go about this.
So you're quitting now?
Well, maybe we can discuss it when Mr. E is not playing his excellent guitar.
Sorry, it just came in the mail. When you
I get it.
it's
I
like
understand.
new
It's
toys
like
and shit,
there is a mute button though as well. If you feel the
Oh, you
inclination to do so.
You just got that, man? Nice.
Yeah, it just came in the mail.
Yeah.
Like in the last break between
That's
the
why I
last
was not
two
saying
videos.
nothing. But yeah, I agree with Luke.
Very cool. Nice, man.
Well,
Yeah.
It's not even plugged in. I'm surprised you guys can even hear it.
no, we can hear everything, man. That's a Yeti, blue Yeti you're using, right?
No, actually, it is bass. No, I don't have a Blue Yeti. This is just, but it's a good mic though.
Okay. Well, it is because it picks up everything.
Yeah, except for when I want it to.
Right.
Yes. Well,
Right.
I mean, I guess I'll just force my way in here and give you some unsolicited advice, Rod. I would say, because my dad he quit smoking, and when he went cold turkey, he just became super aggressive and super angry and all that other stuff. So my
Right.
advice is just to wean yourself off it slowly.
I would definitely agree on that one. I think that's a wiser approach. It takes 3 days on the average. Everybody's different. It takes 3 days on the average for the nicotine to stop pressuring you. All right.
So he's okay. He smokes weed.
Right. Every now and then.
Weed has
not
no
much.
weed has no nicotine. so it doesn't
Right.
affect you the same way.
Right.
So the you are gonna have, like, I don't know if you've tried quitting smoking before. You know what I mean?
I have.
So you understand that the 4-hour point is going to be hell. The 8-hour point is going to be where you want to kill somebody. You know what I mean? So if you want to sit down and ride 3 days out, right? You're
Yeah.
going to make it. You're going to make everybody around you miserable, and then you're going to be grumpy for weeks.
Right.
Okay. But if you do wean yourself off, like let's say you smoke a pack a day, right?
Yeah.
You know, then every time you go for a cigarette, right, just tell yourself, I don't want it, right? But then when you can't take it anymore, smoke a cigarette.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then you keep and force yourself to like, I'm trying to quit, so I'm saying no out of habit. I'm saying no to the habit, but yes to the addiction. You know what I
Right.
mean? And
Yeah.
then when you get down, let's say you're a pack a day, then when you get down to like a quarter pack a day, you know what I mean? Or like even less than that, because really you only need 2 cigarettes a day. Just so you know, 2 cigarettes a day will get you through. The one when you wake up and one like after dinner time, kind of. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Those 2 will get you through the day, whatever. But what you want to do is you want to get yourself down to a point to where it's like, okay, you know what? I think I can now take this out of my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'll take longer. You'll stretch the process out, but you won't be as grumpy, and people around you won't suffer as much.
That's really good advice. I'm gonna contemplate that. I tend to be an all or nothing kind of person, and
I've
that's
noticed.
not obviously
noticed.
not always a good thing. And I get that, so I'm gonna really consider that as an option. The thing, like with the alcohol, for me, it's not. There was no physical addiction to alcohol. For me, it's my vices tend to be connected to my behavior. I get in habits of behavior. So I was starting to having that whiskey there when I did live streams was becoming the habit. The alcohol, that was just happened to be the thing. For me, it's breaking the behavior more so than the addiction. When it comes to the cigarettes, it's about getting up every hour, hour and a half or so, and taking a break from the computer, going outside and having the cigarette. That's what's going to, like, not having that is going to be very difficult. So I think I'm going to be going for a lot of walks. Every time I want to smoke, I'm going to take a walk.
Yeah. Chewing gum helps, right? Taking breaks, taking a walk, that will help a little bit. But again, you don't want to trade one thing for another. You know what I mean? So you got to be careful that you're not, because then when that new thing you traded out gets boring or you lose that, you're gonna find something else. So what the cigarette thing, what I have found is you have to, once like you have to cut yourself down so your body doesn't die. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
it's really hard. But when you go cold, right, and you're not taking the break is really good, actually. You know what I mean? And doing something instead of taking the break that's productive. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you're not just like filling the void. Like taking a walk seems productive, but that's something that unless it's like something you're going to make part of your regular day, you can't do that every hour. You know what I mean? You can't
Right.
do that every time you need a cigarette. So
Yeah.
think about something that you can do that's productive,
Okay.
that you associate to smoking a cigarette that takes about 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. That's really cool. I like that idea. Nice.
Yeah, I've gone through, you don't know how many times I've gone through this. So like we've talked about this briefly. So everybody who's wondering, I actually quit smoking. I smoked cigarettes for 14 years, right? And then I tried to quit for about 2 years straight. I tried to quit, and I would get real close, and then I would fail. I get close, I think I made it, and then because my girl at the time smoked, I would fail. You know what I mean? And it would just be failure after failure after failure, and I'd give up. Like, fuck it, I'm never going to be able to do it. Luck, unlucky. I was in the hospital 3.5 weeks, not months, 3.5 weeks. And in that time period, obviously, I could not smoke. The entire time I was in the hospital, I could not smoke. I was able to lose the absolute out of control addiction feeling in that time period. So I never went back. And the only way that I could keep myself from going back is I had to stay away from cigarettes.
Yeah.
I had to stay away from them. I would walk past cigarettes outside, and I would catch I'd be like, and then the whole like, you're missing that, And it's like
Yep.
it took years for that to stop. Years. And now like even when I kiss a girl who's been smoking, I'm like, ugh.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
like,
that's
like
gonna
the sight
be-
of smoking turns me off now too. So it's like the mental thing, the adjustment takes a long time, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, damn. It's going to be made a lot more difficult because my lady is more or less a lifetime smoker. I'm not going to it's not her fault that I'm smoking, but it is I did not smoke until we got together. It just
Does she
became
smoke?
it just almost became an easier like go out, hang out outside, have a cigarette. It's kind of the part
But
of
you
a
smoke
social
outside, right?
We
You
smoke outside, yes.
Okay, so it'll be easier if you smoke outside. It's
Yeah.
still going to be hard. You know what I mean? But it'll be easier if you smoke outside. Don't go out there with her when she smokes.
Don't go out there.
No, because you'll just be torturing yourself.
Yeah. See, that's going to be the toughest thing for me is I'm going to miss going outside and like having that reason to go outside, get away from the computer, hang out,
And
talk a little bit with the lady. It's like to me I'm not as concerned about the nicotine addiction as I am the behavior, the addiction to taking that break. That's what's going to be tough to really
You're more concerned about the
over.
emotional addiction.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, trust me, the emotional addiction can be controlled. That's willpower can control that.
It's a
Physical
habit.
addiction?
You get hooked to the habit.
Yeah, physical
And-
addiction is a lot harder.
And you can still go outside if you want to, Rod.
Yeah, I know. It's just
Like the world
go
is
eat an
still
apple.
free. You have legs. You can go outside.
I get
You
that.
don't
I
have to
get
have a
that.
cigarette.
That's why I was kind of thinking about taking the walk, but what Drew is saying makes a lot of sense actually. I'd just be like trading it, and then if I get sick of doing the walks or stop doing it, it would be real easy to slip back in.
Well, you
to
know
the
what?
cigarette thing.
You know what you really need to do then.
What do I really need to do?
You need to start exercising, dude. You need to
Oh,
get
yeah.
a gym membership and just lift those weights and just exercise it from your body, and that actually will really help.
Cool. Yeah. That's next on the list as well is up in the physical activity, getting in
You know
a
what?
20 to
There-
30-minute exercise.
Yeah.
I'll say there's a good 5-minute trade-off right there. Get yourself some dumbbells. You know what I mean? Like go to Walmart and get the 20-pound kit, right? You get the 20 count. It comes in a box, 20 pounds of weights, 2 little hand things. It all comes together, right? This 20-pound kit. Okay.
Yeah.
Get that. When you want a cigarette, fight yourself. Go grab those dumbbells and
Yeah.
give yourself 5 minutes of pumping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of different arm exercises that you can do that'll work your shoulders, your back, your neck, everything. It'll be healthy for you. It'll give you it'll instead of giving you that nicotine rush, that thing, you're gonna get a different kind of endorphin.
Right.
And it's a 5-minute thing. You want to trade something, that's a good 5-minute trade-off.
Yeah.
I like that too. Yeah, that sounds really good. Well, and I like combining the fact that I really need to start getting that physicality back anyway. So it would kind of be 2 birds with 1 stone on that
Yeah,
front.
just get some real dumbbells. Don't go with a little like 2-pounder pink set. You know what I mean?
I saw Narwhal was lift. I don't know. I think it was a cowbell or something he had. I don't know how heavy it was. But
Oh no, I know the one. Yeah, yeah. It's the I forget what they're called, but I used to use those. Yeah, they're pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna go get them.
So
Here we go.
quitting now.
He's gonna go show us. He's gonna show us.
Yeah, man.
His
I'm done with
stuff.
that.
You know, another thing that's good. You know, when you're quitting smoking,
What's he doing?
it's having a quitting buddy.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, that's not going to
bro,
happen.
See
bro,
these right here? Walmart sells these in their sporting department. So whatever
Okay.
Walmart's in your
I'll
town
quit too.
will have these. They come in a little yellow box, a whole set, and
Okay.
and you can add more weight onto it as you need it. You know what
Nice.
I mean? And they'll hold up to like 50 pounds. You know what I mean? On each,
All right.
You know what I mean? So like you can. I mean, if you get the 50 pounds, you're like, "Grr," you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
All
El
right.
Gargoyle. Yeah, the kettlebell. He
Yes,
pointed
yes.
out. Yes.
Yeah, that was hilarious, man. Narwhal's the best. Nova Blast in the house. Michael
I
Beacon.
miss Narwhal. I haven't talked to him in ages.
Hello.
like I was saying, I'll quit too, dude.
How you doing, Michael?
I'm good. Just started my Inktober drawing for the day.
All right,
What's
nice.
up, Beacon?
Hey,
Nice,
I'm good.
nice. Yeah, that's really good. I think I'm gonna go that path, Drew. I'm gonna get some weights. I really like that idea. That's
Well,
good.
the-
Now, Sim,
it-
you were saying something. I kind of heard you, but could you repeat that?
I say another thing that's good is having a quitting buddy. You said there's no chance of that. Well, I'd quit too.
Dude, let's do this thing,
Let's
man.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah. How long have you been at it?
Smoking? Like I stopped for 7 years and I started smoking again in 2011 in university. You know, going out in clubs and drinking with
Oh,
the
yeah.
drinking thing.
Yeah.
And I got back into smoking.
Right.
So
And
how'd
that's-
you quit?
dude,
How'd you quit the first time? That's a good
Cold
story.
turkey. I just stopped. You know, look, the stupidest thing is my son was young and he asked me to stop smoking. And he was really young, right?
Mm.
And it got into my head. I went to work and I went out to smoke a cigarette, right? And I'm like, oh, that one's gonna be good because I was stressed the fuck out. You know, when you're like a bit pissed, you're like, I don't know, one's gonna be fucking good. Step outside, light the cigarette, tastes like shit. then I had that fucking image in my commercial in my head that they put a long time ago. Don't ask me the date, but I think it was in the 80s or something, late 80s. And they were showing like a cat with a smoke, a frog with a smoke, a monkey with a smoke, and all type of thing with a smoke. And then at the end they would show people with a smoke. And go, you think that looks stupid? What about this? And that's when I went, I'm done. So
Yeah.
now you were saying that, I started thinking about all of this, and I'm like, I've been meaning to stop. I told my kid I would stop. And yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I caught my cat smoking the other day, dumb motherfucker.
I hate it when I catch my cat smoking. I'm just like, what did I tell you?
I raised you better than this.
Nova Blast says drink a big glass of water every time you want a cig. Within
Yeah,
3
that's
days, you'll
that's
be
another thing I
golden.
used
That's
to do.
interesting.
Yeah.
That sounds legit to me, actually.
You
I
check
like
it
that
down.
idea. All
Yeah.
right. So I'm gonna lift weights, drink a glass of water. So yeah, my arms are gonna be huge.
You're going to be ripped, dog.
you'll be able to do your shoulders and your arms, and that'll
Yeah.
also work your upper
I'll
back
reinstall my
and-
chin-up bar.
Yeah, do like squats. Like, don't forget leg day.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you once
Well, yeah.
once you get the addiction to the from
Get
the, from
yourself
the
a
workout.
chin-up bar, dude, that you
Yeah.
could put in your door frame. It's fucking
Okay.
amazing. That's how.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. The
There's-
main thing I used to have. That and weights.
Yeah,
Okay.
the door frame pull up. They have one called the Iron Gym. It actually works really well.
Okay.
And I have a standing punching bag that you get from the MMA thing.
Dude, I would love to have a punching bag. I did some boxing training like a long while back. I did about 4 months and did this little exhibition fight for charity, like the Boys and Girls Club put it on. And dude, best shape I've ever been in my life. But I really miss working the bag, man. That shit's fun.
I had to stop working the bag because I used the keyboard so much.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what I mean?
you shouldn't work the bag. You should caress the bag.
when
Treat the bag like you would a fine woman.
yeah, that wins a fight right there.
Yeah.
You're buying it, toys and
So Hex, you chain smoked for 20 years. I take it that means that you did quit.
No, he said American Spirit. Oh, no, wait, that's the brand. All right. Never
yeah,
mind.
maybe just change brands. Yeah.
Oh, sneaky. Hey, I could do that. That's
Oh,
smart.
no,
I quit smoking.
we
Paul
just
Mall.
had you. We just had you off it, and now you're like, oh wait, no,
Well, I didn't
get
know
off
that was an option. That sounds way better. Shit.
You
damn it.
should get them really skinny, like girly brown cigarettes. Those really what are those called?
Oh yeah,
Which ones I'm talking about?
like the menthols or whatever.
No. They're like totally like these girly cigarettes. Even the name is girly. I can't even think of it right now, but I've seen like a million ads for it.
Yeah.
Is it-
They're
Two
really
things that
long
are-
and super skinny. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Other than drinking the water, one of the things that I used to do was, you know those little certs? They're like little mints, but they're like fruit flavored. It's like just a little type of little mint that you can
Tic Tac?
just- Yeah, it could be a Tic Tac. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's
Yeah, that helps with the oral fixation, but gum works a little better than candy, just because
Okay.
it lasts longer.
Yeah, and like I said, I know that tends to be a component for a lot of people, but I don't think that's a part of it for me. It really is about the going out, taking the break, going outside.
Well, you'll know
That's
for
what's
sure.
so
You'll,
these ideas
you'll,
you've given me are like, yeah.
you'll know for sure in a few days, and you have a
Yeah.
lot of stuff to work with.
Well, everyone who watches this show is certainly gonna get to see if I'm a little grumpy over the next 3 or 4 days. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Well, like there's
Yeah.
again, if you cold turkey it 3 days, it'll be out of your system. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that, but you will not stop being grumpy.
And then you'll
Right.
commit crimes.
Yeah. You will just you will like you what'll happen is you'll be angry at your girlfriend every time she goes and has a cigarette. You'll be finding like fucking bitch. You know what I
Right,
Then you'll
mean?
start. Then you'll start hitting your girlfriend, and then you'll like
Hmm.
put on a balaclava and go out to a convenience store and rob it,
Right.
and you'll be like, "It's okay. I'm just experiencing withdrawal symptoms."
Yeah, then you'll have like a big binge. You'll start smoking again and drinking at the same time. You'll have a big old huge overwhelming drinking thing, and then all of a sudden you'll have alcohol poisoning, and then you'll have to be hospitalized. It'll be great.
Oh my god.
Oh man, Gargoyle says marshmallow cigarette. I remember as a kid,
Popeye
like
cigarette.
way back in the day, man, the candy cigarettes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The ones that you could blow and a little puff of powder would come out.
I can't believe they were ever allowed to do that shit. Wow.
There was Lucky Brand, like Lucky Strike. I mean, actually, Lucky Strike, who made cigarettes, gave their brand to a candy company with a
Really?
few changes. So it didn't
Here.
quite.
Here, I only ever saw the Popeye cigarettes, and that was it.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
there was all kinds of Marlboro knockoffs. There was Lucky knockoffs. There was Camel knockoffs. There was it was really bad.
And
Yes.
there was the one that was like a little stick of chocolate rolled in paper, and you would blow in it, and you would have like a little smoke coming out that was like powdered sugar or something.
Yeah, exactly. Little puff powder. Right.
Yeah.
Gotta get them early.
Yeah, but
Gotta
get
here,
'em
here
early.
before here back in the 70s, they used to have like advertisement going, help fund the Olympic Stadium and smoke cigarettes. It used to be like even you guys, it used to be promoted a long time ago.
Sure.
Like it was a healthy thing to smoke cigarettes. Smoke cigarettes.
Lord Finatra remembered. It's Virginia Slims. Those are the brown.
Oh
cigarettes
yeah,
that are
right.
skinny ones.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry, it was in the
Virginia
60s.
Slims, right. The key is staying positive through the cravings and telling yourself you can quit for good, and
Yeah.
you'll be super proud when you're free of the curse. I agree,
Me-
man. And here's
me was the reasoning also, sorry, that it was like cigarette has a control over me type of thing.
Mhm.
In my mind, the connection of like, hold on, this tastes like shit. I'm at the point where I need it, and then that's when you reflect and going, you keep that in mind, and you'll go like, fuck you, and you have. Fuck
well,
that
and this is I've been thinking a lot about these things lately, and the most valuable resource I think any individual has is time. It's the time we have, right? And when I think about things like alcohol, cigarette, the alcohol thing, you get wasted on I get wasted on a Friday night, and the next day is just shit. It's ruined. It's a recovery day. I mean, when you're in your 20s, maybe not that big a deal. You're in your 40s, you get wasted, the next day is recovery. You're going to be working at half speed at best.
Yeah.
So all that time being thrown down the drain. Then you look at the money, right? The money that I have to spend time earning going to that thing. So what you're really doing with these habits is you're literally burning. You're throwing your time in the garbage can, and this
Yeah,
is
well-
one of the things. Like I want to keep that front and center in my mind. Like my time, I need to value my time more.
And you're literally
know.
burning your money. The Smiling Bandito brings up an interesting point. Says kids used to be able to buy cigarettes for their parents, and this is
Yep.
before the alcohol, tobacco, and firearm thing that existed. So like if you think about it, that just putting those three things together have been determined that there has to be an agency to protect us from those things: alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. You know what I mean? That those things have to be regulated to who
Right.
can be sold that shit. You know what I mean? That's how
Yeah.
dangerous alcohol is, and that's how dangerous tobacco is. You notice it's not alcohol, tobacco, weed, and firearms. It's not alcohol, tobacco, something else in firearms. No, it's those three things have been specified as severely dangerous enough to the individual that they have to be regulated that you can buy them.
Yes, I remember the time when children could buy firearms for their parents. It was great.
Actually, that actually wasn't that long ago. There was, in fact, you could be like a 13-year-old kid and buy a handgun just like 15 years ago.
Yeah. Interesting. Nova Blast, you have a good mindset, Rot 10. I think you'll do good if you quit. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Stefani Renee is in the house.
I just looked at the date, and it wasn't 15 years ago, more like 25 years ago.
Yeah, dude, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I know. I do that lately. I do that a lot now. I'm like, oh shit, that was 20 plus years ago. Oh man, I'm on the downhill slide, dude.
Yeah.
I've got less time to be here than I've already spent. Shit.
Yep.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's why they call it over the hill.
Yeah. That's what we call the midlife crisis.
Can I say something real quick, Rod? I know you were about to say
that's
something.
why you're here. Go for it.
You mentioned before how you get smashed on Friday and then the next day it'd just be hell, right?
Right.
I mean, I used to do that as well, and yeah, I 100% agree with you. It was like the moment that you get smashed sure feels great, but then the bill you got to pay afterwards is like way too steep.
Exactly, man. And it's like if we don't respect and value our own time enough to not do that, and I'm not saying, dude, having a good time,
sure,
with friends and shit. I'm not saying like just drinking period is an evil thing or anything like that. I'm just saying what I was doing on a weekly basis was throwing literal time in the garbage. The time I had to spend making the money to buy it, the time I had to spend recovering from it. Not to mention making a fool of myself half the time, pissing off people. You being one of them, Fresher Luke.
No, you didn't piss me off. I understand where you're coming from. Like, we're older guys, and this is where I was going with this. Like, I mean, you still need to take time to relax, and that's why, something like edibles is like a lot better for older people like us. It's like there's no hangover, and it lasts for about 6 hours, and then the next day you feel a little more refreshed. So
right. Yeah.
I mean, the reason why the whole concept of self-medication exists is because we need it. You know what I mean? Life is fucking hard sometimes.
Yeah,
that's a fact. That's a fact.
So let me just tell you, every fucking morning I need coffee. Right?
Yeah.
If I don't have coffee, like I'll fucking realize like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's like, why is my day fucking shit? I didn't have any coffee today. That's why I didn't. You know what I mean?
Dude.
And it's
but
like,
coffee.
But the truth is, you don't need coffee.
Yes.
You don't. No. I don't need coffee.
No one, not to survive. No.
Yeah,
but,
I'd say the
yes.
physical addiction to coffee is, in my experience, almost more powerful than nicotine, man.
Yeah.
That shit
Caffeine
is
is a drug. Caffeine is a drug.
In fact, caffeine.
My cigarette smoking is linked to my coffee drinking.
But say caffeine will affect the human brain in the similar way as tobacco or alcohol, because it will help thin the blood.
Yeah.
Right. So smoking nicotine will slightly thin the blood, but what it does is it clouds the brain from so that then that right there kind of takes some of the edge off. The alcohol again thins the blood, also clouds the brain. However, coffee does not cloud the brain. It motivates you so you can get your shit done.
Yeah.
But it also thins the blood, which if you have a headache, you know what I mean, or something like that, sometimes coffee will fix it.
Yeah,
if you don't drink coffee, you'll get a headache sometimes.
I agree. Like, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, every once in a blue moon, when I've got like, the blood in my head is a little too thick. You know what I mean? And it's like just pounding on my skull. I take some caffeine, but it's like once in a blue moon, and it just clears it right up, and then I get on with my day. I mean, I'm not.
I was wondering, does anybody have any tape? I'd really like to.
I code to make my bills. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I have to find like focus and motivation when I'm sleepy. So without coffee, that becomes an impossibility.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, because I'm an insomniac, and if I haven't had a good night's rest, and the next morning I feel like crap, it really helps. But it's like something you use sparingly.
Yeah.
Well, for me anyway. But.
Well, not yeah. I used to almost never drink coffee. Like I'd have 1 or 2 cups, ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now I drink like a pot almost every morning. So
Yeah, me and my lady
although it's
split
actually
half a
good,
pot. Yeah.
it's supposed to actually be good. Drinking coffee is actually supposed to be good for men. Just so we know.
Ah, it's
Well,
bad
this
for your liver. then.
this month anyway.
Well, it's
Yeah, they're
that-
always
that's-
flip flopping on that shit, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
nothing's perfect for you. You know what I mean? There's
Sure.
you're gonna find an outlier in anything. So.
This kind of ties into the VICES thing, but apparently, there are 2 types of women in the world. So let's have a look.
Ones that want to dance and ones that want to eat. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. Yeah, food is another thing, man. It's like after I kick this nicotine's ass, I'm definitely looking to improve the food intake front. Just cutting out as much sugar as possible, processed bullshit.
You're gonna have you should put a little bit of time between that and
Yeah.
you should be and then don't let when you stop smoking. I was mentioning this earlier. Your body is metabolism. Your body's going to want more food. It's not going to be an oral fixation thing. Your body's going to say, "I want more food," because
Right.
nicotine heats up your metabolism and it suppresses your appetite. Those things will be gone, and your body got used to that. So it's what I mean. It's going to need that to reheal itself, and that's going to take a long time.
Oh, dude, just the fact of when you're like, I'm not gonna smoke one now. You want a snack?
Right? Like
Right?
something else.
As a smoker, that's the habit. As in, like, if you're like, I'll smoke it, or you're hungry, not now. You'll smoke a cigarette. It's always correct. Like,
The average or cigarette requirement's 4 hours. Just the average requirement. So that means you can go. Most people go habit like an hour every whatever. You know what I mean? But 4 hours is when your body starts saying, "Hey,
dude, we got a
nicotine."
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
That's an
You were
average,
talking in the back room. I can't remember what attempt it was to get the show underway. You were kind of talking about the metabolism. How coming off cigarettes, it can really leave your metabolism in a mess.
It really
get ready,
can.
You're gonna have some cold sweats, sleep for a day or 2.
Yeah, the first 3 days are hell. That's how long it takes to get the absolute nicotine, like that's in your system, to exit.
Yeah.
Then it's just an average. Everybody's different. Some people get up faster than others, but it takes roughly 72 hours, roughly, to get the nicotine out of your system. Which means that it doesn't mean that you're done. It just means that the most painful step is over. You know what I mean? All the other issues are still going to exist. Your emotional addiction, the habit. You know what I mean? The people who smoke around you, you're still going to have that craving. You know what I mean? Even though you're not going to have the I'm going to die if I don't get a cigarette, you're still going to have the craving, and that's going to last for years. Even after you quit, that craving is going to last for years. But you got to cut out when you're done with tobacco. You got to cut it out all the way. All the way. That includes blunt wraps, man. Just so you know, those are made out of tobacco. So
right, Sim, what are you thinking on this? Are you you want to just kick this cold turkey? I know there's been some advice that
There's
kind of
no way
ease off
the
it,
hard-
but
there's my way is there's no way but the hard way.
Ooh.
I'm with you.
Well,
I'm
what
with
about
you.
Michael? What does Michael think?
I've never been a smoker. I just stick to straight old natural meth.
Yeah, dude. Obviously, I'm gonna be picking up some
natural
meth.
meth.
That goes without saying.
Like, I'm quitting smoking cigarette cold
So you
turkey.
you see Michael Beacon hanging out at the pond of methane. You know what I mean?
Had a little avalanche.
And me, I remember the first time I tried. I just keep reminding reminding myself the reason why I want to quit.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's like everything else, keeping the focus on the right thing.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the end game?
I don't think I can post stuff in the chat, right?
On the actual YouTube?
Yeah.
Really?
It's
That's
not coming
weird.
up in the thing. I don't know if it's coming up in the thing or not. I think it is. I don't know. Never mind. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
All right.
So the best thing about quitting smoking, right, after your body adjusts to not having cigarettes anymore,
Yeah.
is being able to breathe again, and then being able to taste food again.
Yeah.
Being able to smell again.
That's what I was going to bring because of Nova Blast comment here. You know, when other people smoke starts to smell bad to you, you know you're on track, and it's like just being able to smell in general. Like I know that my sense of smell is so damaged right now, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, you'll be like you'll be like working, you'll be at work, and you'll be like all. It's not me.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just so many great reasons to kick it, and it's time, man. It's so time to get shit on track.
There's very few reasons to not kick smoking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
like
exactly.
it's like I'm already dying of cancer. Fuck it. You know what I mean? That's, you know what I mean?
Yep. Nice. All right. Well, I certainly appreciate the advice. I'm going to be getting myself some weights for sure. I love that idea. I'm going to drink the water. Another great idea. Sim, I'm really happy that you're going to jump on board
Yeah.
with me on this thing. We'll see how we are on Wednesday.
And my DM is open to you for your renting and.
So
raiding
wait, I gotta know, you guys. Does that mean Sim has smoked his last cigarette? You got to put them down, Sim. Put them away.
I don't.
I did.
Well, see, I
already
had the
did.
benefit of knowing it was my last cigarette earlier.
I did.
Sim didn't have that, so if you want to have that last cigarette, man, I
No,
fully
I'm smoking at you right now.
gotcha. Nice.
I'm telling myself it's gonna last me for the day type of thing. Get it?
Right.
I'm gonna be mellow for a bit, like good evening, and I'll be good.
Right.
That's what I was telling you. Like I know you smoke, so you know, like take a puff or two if you're feeling like.
Right.
You know that when I was quitting the first time, you know what I mean, without the hospital, I actually did quit again for a short period of time. Having living with somebody who smoked made it hard to stay quit. Just so
I
you
don't
know.
Maybe I have.
I know,
Wait,
I
maybe
know.
it's
Because the reason why is because there's access to cigarettes as part of the problem.
Yep.
Right.
I see everything as a training. Like a bit of it like a training. Like I'm going to train for something. So when I start something, like I know it's gonna be hard. I know it's gonna be this. I know it's gonna be that. But I know what I want. So that's how I'm trying to keep. I'm gonna approach this like I did the first time.
Yeah. We're just trying to give him
And
tools
I
for
think
when
that's
he
my
faces
I think
shit.
that's my best like advice. You know, it's like see it that way, dude. Like a challenge. You like a challenge,
Sorry
right?
about that, Chris. He says Sim will be even more grumpy at me during morning roast.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry about
Dude,
that.
I'm telling you, that's gonna be an asset too.
Yeah, good
I'm
morning,
gonna be on fire,
afternoon,
roast.
evening. Christine is in the house. Happy
So-
to have
so-
you here.
So when everybody's irritated at Sim for being grumpy, blame Rot 10. Just so you
It's
know.
my fault. It's all my fault. Absolutely.
Thank you for the compliment on Captain Love comic book black belt. Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. And that's as we wrap up the Killing Vices discussion. That's the other reason we're here, ladies and gentlemen, is to talk about Captain Love. You are officially funding for Chapter 2, man. How are you feeling? How are you feeling about this campaign?
You know, it's going slower than I would hope. I would hope that it would be, you know, due to the fact that I know that everybody who's read, you know what I mean, pretty much the first book and Chapter 1, you know, have enjoyed themselves. See, you got it right
Yes,
there.
indeed.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've had only like, you know, like the occasional outlier who didn't like it for whatever reason, and I think in most of those cases they didn't like it because they didn't like me. You know what I mean? Like this, it just happened to be the same people. You know what I mean? They
Right.
didn't like
Yeah.
my book,
It
they
just
didn't like me.
just coincidentally.
Just coincidentally.
Yeah, we
You
know
know
how
what I
that
mean?
works.
Right.
Right.
And I've had people who didn't even know it was my book tell me about it, how awesome the book is, and I should need to check it out, which I thought was pretty fucking cool. You know what I mean? Like they didn't know it was my book, and they didn't realize that it was written by Drew Ish, even though they knew who Drew Ish is. I
Right.
tripped out on that. They've had it, they read it, they didn't like. How many people read comic books and don't even fucking look at who authored it? I'm tripping on that. 'Cause that
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah, that's a trip.
You know what I mean? But it's pretty cool that everybody's digging it. I'm really loving the good reviews are freaking awesome. Thank you,
Yeah.
Nova Blast. I appreciate it, man. I fucking put everything. Seriously, no joke. I've put everything into this book. If I had to stop this series, I would go into financial ruin. All right.
Did you put your house on it?
No, I rent, so no, I couldn't.
Oh.
But I did take the payment that I was going to use to buy my house and invest it in this comic book instead.
Whoa.
So
Wow.
I did trade my house for it in a way. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I still rent, so you know what I mean. So it's like I have the same house. It's just that I couldn't buy it because I put the money towards making the first Captain Love book.
I
So-
think I think you should have bought the house, man.
Now,
Yeah, well then Captain Love wouldn't exist, would it?
I know, but you
So-
could have a house to make Captain Love in it.
I still have the house. I just don't have the house payment. I have rent, so I'm not investing in my future in the house. I'm investing in my landlord's future still. But I'm still going to buy the house eventually.
All right.
yeah, of
All right.
course. Let's help Drew
Yeah.
be able to buy that house. I mean, come
Yeah,
on.
let's do that.
How
That would be
selfish.
awesome.
How selfish are we going to be here? The man needs to buy his house.
No, I mean, I want him to have his house. I want him to
Yeah.
be happy and not because like I pay rent and I absolutely hate paying rent. I wish I. Had
I know,
a house,
dude.
so
I know it sucks.
I've
dude.
lived here 20 years, so
Yeah.
I paid rent here 20 years. Just
That
so
that
Wow.
sucks, man.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
But
Well, when you think about-
it's good price though because I've been here 20 years. The rent hasn't gone up that much.
I
so
know,
it's-
but I mean, it's like the act. We won't get into it. This is about vices and your book, so
yeah.
don't. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I'll just say I agree.
Okay, you don't have to agree with me.
No, I mean,
Um,
whatever.
Okay.
So I know that you're experimenting with this series in terms of having a subscription. I think that was part of your initial campaign. Is there a
Yeah.
component of that involved here where some people invested in the full run up
so-
front?
Everybody who invested in the executive producer tier, right?
Yeah.
When chapter 2 fulfills, they're going to get a copy of chapter 2. They don't have to back it again because they
Nice.
invested ahead of time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But that doesn't guarantee the time schedule that I can get these things done. Because if I got to do them out of pocket, it's going to take a lot longer than if I can afford to do it out of these campaign fundings. And right now, this one's not making enough to fund the next book. So I'm going to have to start slow because you know what I mean? To keep it going because of the, I mean, I actually already have crap in the works. You know what I mean? I've
Sure.
already have, you know what I mean? I'm already invested. But the thing is like, with the pandemic cutting work back half, because I do marketing, you know what I mean? And that's the first thing that people cut when they're gone. Marketing's gone.
It's true.
And
Yeah.
then I've had clients go out of business, and that's just not my fault. You know what I mean? It's because they're restaurants and they can't be open. You know what I mean? So I've lost a lot of money because of this. You know what I mean? And because I have my own business, it doesn't affect me the same way. But so like overall, you know what I mean? I am able to make this thing go forever. But the difference is how fast I'm able to deliver it is going to come down to how people help me out. Plus, I also have to pay for things like the convention and stuff like that, and you know what I mean, that kind of stuff.
Sure.
So it's like that's all going to be out of pocket unless the campaigns are really profitable, because then I can exchange the money and have the sales from that. You know what I mean? So there's it's like the investment in Captain Love is what these campaigns are for. You know what I mean? Because
Sure.
I'm going to make the books whatever. If you back a book, you're going to get your book, right?
Yeah.
It's just it might take me longer to get to that point because, but.
I get that.
Yeah, so it's like show the support. Let's let this comics community hit hard, man. Because I mean, you're getting your book. You know what I mean? If you back it,
Well,
if you back
that's the
forward,
thing. I
yeah.
mean, that's why I wanted. Obviously, this is a man who fulfills. He delivers the product, high quality product in your hands. There's
Yeah.
no doubt about that. He's already
and it's in color though, just so you know, it is. In
yeah,
color.
of course it is. Everything that comes into my world goes black and white. Everybody knows that. But yeah, you've got the track record. You fulfill on your project. You've already done it, so people don't have to worry about that at all. I should know this, but Christine is also asking: is this your first or second 30 days?
We are in the first 30 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
We are just like 12. This is like the 12th day into the campaign for
Okay.
this, and it's really been a slow start. I mean, compared to my first campaign where nobody knew me, which was roughly the same time of year, this is actually doing faster than that. right? Because that campaign in the whole 60 days only got like $3,300. You know what I mean? And then after everybody's like, oh, this book's fucking badass. You know what I mean? Then it bumped up to fucking 10,600 where it's at now, you know, for the first campaign. So it's like I made it all after the fact. You know what I mean? And then in chapter 1, people knew that I was coming out with something great. And then the executive producer tier was on there. So people were like, oh yeah, I'm jumping in on that. So I got a bunch of executive producers, and that campaign hit right out the park, hit great. You know what I mean? Yeah. So now I'm at the point where like, okay, I need to still find new people. I need to find new customers, people who have not experienced Captain Love, who can buy like my featured perk there. They can buy chapter 1, chapter 2, and volume 1 and start fresh. You know what I mean? That's why it's there. Awesome. It's the featured tier. And then, but if they haven't got the chapter 2 yet, they need to get chapter 2. You can get chapter 1 and 2. I have posters. If you already got everything, but you need more love, I got posters. I got T-shirts. I got what you need. I got your fix, man.
Yes. And damn, I kind of lost track of what I had something I really wanted to ask you about. And
you're gonna experience a lot of that in the next 3 days.
It'll come back. Yeah, where's my God damn it. So what would you say, what is that thing, that quintessential thing about Captain Love that you would say kind of makes it different, helps it stand apart?
He fills the void left behind from the Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon series.
Nice.
He fills the void that was left behind.
That's cool, man. That really says a lot, actually. Yeah,
and you've read it. You can vouch for that. So
absolutely. Yeah, it is definitely in that vein. It does scratch that itch for sure. Very fun book, man. And you know, you've got a lot of time. There's no saying that this thing can't get legs. Obviously, like you're saying,
I'm hoping for it.
A lot of the money you got on the previous campaign was after you went in demand. You just never know what might spark that, you know, a run on the project. So just keep at it, man, and keep exploring.
I'm not stopping. You know what I mean? I mean, basically, I've invested this much money. You know what I mean? And I haven't been able to pay myself back yet. You know what I mean? So it's about pushing and pushing and pushing because you know I intend for this thing to be a real deal. Now, in December, I'm going to LA Comic-Con, which is a huge expense for me, and at this point, it's all out of pocket. You know what I mean? And I'm going to have to buy some more marketing materials, right? So I have some things to give away and make sure that I'm very visible. I mean, I have a standee, but I don't have a really good banner. You know what I mean? So I really need to, you know, plus I have to do some signage for like pricing and that kind of stuff, and it's got to be nice. So there's a whole lot of stuff I have to get all put in together. So and then you know, I mean, LA is, you know, 3 hours from here.
Yeah,
I have to make a choice on if I'm going to rent a hotel room for 3 days or stay with a friend over there, which those are options. But the problem is then I have to pay somebody to watch my cats because I have cats that don't feed themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's 3 days. Yeah, that'd be.
And I have enough cats that I can't go 3 days without changing the litter boxes. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Yeah.
That will be a disaster. Now, I mean, I could make them. I could put it all out and, you know, and then have just someone check on them and all that kind of stuff. But I love my cats like they're my kids, and I don't want to torture them like that. So, you know what I mean? So these are things I'm wrestling with personally, trying to make all this stuff happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a lot, man. I mean, there's a lot of, you know, you have to preload when you go do a convention like that. You really have to make a lot of investments up front. And, you know, usually it pays off. Usually you're going to recoup that and make some profit. But, you know, there's no guarantees, especially in the year Definitely 2020. Not. There's no guarantees of anything, is there?
Right. Well, no, see, there's a lot of potential for this event working out in my favor due to timing. And I'll explain that in a minute. As far as investment, I get to lay on a lot of the investment I've already made. Okay. Because I have, you know, a few hundred volume 1 books left over. I have not gone through my supply of that yet. You know what I mean? I have more than 500 chapter 1 copies available because I have not gone through my supply of that yet. That's why I do with the money, these campaigns, is I invest it in printing because I know at some point conventions are coming back. And that's my business model, is to get Captain Love into people's hands through conventions. It is not. I don't make as much money per issue as I would as, like, say, if they were coming through like Indiegogo or whatever. But you get more with it that came through Indiegogo usually than this. So, so it's really kind of like one way or the other. But the truth of the matter is, the game is to help me make Captain Love a real thing. In LA, when I go to the convention, this is done. I've got my table. This is where I'm going, right? When I'm sitting there, if I can make a big noise before getting there, which I have a lot of time to do between now and then to start making some noise. If I can make a big noise there, then there's going to be people, because it's LA. There's going to be people coming by to check out the Captain Love property.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I already got a movie script written, and I have a lot of stuff that the movie script can easily be changed into a series. I can't count on that. Of course, I'd be stupid to I'm going there to make a movie. No. I'm going there to sell copies of the freaking books.
Of course. But, being prepared, having that, being able to, if the opportunity presents itself, to be able to leap on it and you're ready for it. I mean, that's just smart.
Instead of being like, duh, I never thought of that.
Right.
No, it's like, oh, you want to talk about making a movie? Guess what? I already have a script. Slap. Right here, sitting there ready to go. Anytime you want to talk about making a movie. You know what I mean? And it's like, and then I can say that I have experience as a filmmaker and all that kind of stuff. And who knows where that could go? You know what I mean?
Right.
Who knows? But the thing is, the truth of the matter is, I also have a formula for a video game. So if a video game producer comes up to me, I'd be like, you know what? I already have a whole thought process in there we can sit and talk about. You know what I mean?
Beautiful.
And so it's like, the opportunities, again, LA Comic-Con is probably the second best Comic-Con of all of them for these opportunities. And some people would say it's the first. Sometimes people say it's even better than San Diego for these kinds of opportunities.
Sure.
So, and the fact that we've just coming out of a pandemic, which means that people are starving for opportunities. And these people are like, they need to keep their jobs. So they got to find some shit. You know what I mean? So
yes,
I may be in a situation where it does work out. You know what I mean? And then those are just hopeful thoughts. Just so you guys know, I'm not counting on that. That's not my plan. But
right.
But that opportunity is there, and I want to make a noise so I can draw people's attention to it. So guess what? Every one of you can help me make a noise by talking about Captain Love. Put some tweets out there, post on Facebook. You know what I mean?
It's so huge, man. I mean,
tell your friends. Tell your friends about Captain Love.
Absolutely. And if you don't have the money right now, you're not able to back it, the next best thing is always share it out, let people know about it. That is a huge component of all of this.
If you're dead serious about wanting to really, really help me, say you don't have the money to back it. That's fine. Okay. But I bet 3 to 5 people in your immediate world that are comic book fans. They're hardcore. Either they go to conventions or they do the cosplay or they're anime nuts, or you know what I mean? I guarantee 3 to 5 people, right? Just go to them and say, have you ever heard about Captain Love? Hey, check this out. You know what I mean? You can just send them to CaptainLove.com. All 3 books are listed right there. There's an explanation brief of who the character is. There's some videos they can watch. It's all like, it's obviously I need to enhance the website more, but for what it is, they can find it through there. You don't have to send it to Indiegogo. You can send it to CaptainLove.com. You know what I mean? They can go to Indiegogo, search Captain Love. There'll be 3 campaigns which they might find confusing without an explanation. You know what I mean? So it's really, if you want to help, there's no better way than spreading the word. You know what I mean? If you can't afford to chip in, that's fine. Just, you know what? I bet you can afford to find a few people and just tell them, say, hey man, you're a sci-fi freak. I know you like comic books. Have you heard of Captain Love? Yeah, it's this indie comic that a friend of mine makes. And you can, if you're out there promoting my book, damn straight you're my friend. God damn it. I consider you a friend if you're out there promoting my book. So
sorry, I'm on mute a bit. I've got some, obviously you can hear that, some yard work going in the background.
That's margaritas in the blender, man. You're caving already.
Every Monday, I never know. I'm like, I just keep my fingers crossed. Like, usually they show up later in the day, but every so often, right on time for the show.
Yeah.
Sorry
mine
about
come
that.
Mine come on Tuesdays, right around noon.
Yeah. Who produced this cover art I'm looking at right now?
This is by Henry Ponciato, who Michael Beacon would know very well because he was an illustrator on Seven Legions.
Did a fantastic job too. He's getting really good.
Nice, man. This is absolutely fantastic cover. I love it.
Yeah, he also did 2 of the posters that are below. So
let's check those out. Dun, dun, dun. Oh. Vinny Tartamella as well.
Yes.
Nice.
And then Andrea Bormida is the current illustrator.
All right.
And then there's the first Henry one with Love and Jean right there drinking.
Oh, nice, dude.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he definitely captured, you know what I mean, the feel of Captain Love real good. You know what I mean?
No question about it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's Jean.
This one. I had to snag this one for the thumbnail, man. This is a great piece.
This is an amazing piece of art. Let me just say, this was a surprise. Okay, I hit him up I was like, you know what? There hasn't been, you know, a Jean pinup. You know what I mean? There's a Jean, you know, trading card, but there's never been a Jean pinup. And Jean is, you know, like the 3rd most important character in the series right now. She's Love's best friend. You know what I mean? She was there from the beginning. If you read the first book, she fought along his side in the cleansing. You know what I mean? So she was there. So they're like super tight. She drives a hauler also. You know what I mean? And they usually like hang out as friends. And then if you look above, you know, they do things like have drinking contests. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so,
this, I think maybe you already said that this just previously, but I think I heard you say on another show, this is the first time she's been depicted by herself in a piece.
Yes. Except for her trading card, correct. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, very nice. And what size are these posters?
These are 11 by 17, and they'll come rolled up in a 12-inch, you know, cardboard thing. Yeah.
Nice, dude. I know that getting people posters is a serious pain. It's difficult. It can be expensive, but I sincerely appreciate when people roll them, because that fold, man. Oh, I can't stand that fold.
It's fun you bring it up, and we have Beacon on here.
I actually, the solution I came up with, it's like somewhere between rolled and folded. I can pull it up real quick and show you.
Yeah,
you wrapped it around the comic book, right? You wrapped it around the comic book.
But first he puts it in a plastic sleeve.
Yeah,
right?
like these aren't in the sleeve, but these are some that the package got shipped back to me because the address was wrong. So like this is what they look like after you work the curve out, but you just sort of like
that's not bad. See, that's workable, man.
That's not a hard. That's not a crisp crease. So that's
exactly.
You can iron that out with some weight. Yeah.
So like I just sort of wrap it around the comic book, don't bend it, put it in the mailer, ship it like that. You know, this is how it
has resistance.
Yeah, of course, the more abuse the packaging gets, the more abuse the poster will get too. So.
And this is one that came back in the package that was abused. So, you know,
that is very workable. I like that as a compromise right there. That's great, because I can't remember. I think it was when I backed the first issue of Nora's Saga. Pretty cool poster came with it, but I mean the creases were right down the main character, right through the character's face. I mean, what could it, I'm not going to hang that.
Right.
It's basically a piece of garbage at that point. Like, what is the point?
It's basically like a tease. Yeah.
So cool, man. I appreciate that you're rolling these. And now
definitely.
Is this something you can add on if you get a tier, or?
I am going to add them as individual add-ons. But you know what I mean? If you are looking to get 3 or more of them, you're going to want to get them in these packs, or at least the custom pack, because otherwise, if you just try to get them as add-ons, they're going to be as if you bought just one, which is more expensive because shipping. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because I don't make you guys pay shipping if you're in the United States. I've built that into the price of the item, right? So like if you're gonna add on a poster, it's gonna be $15 because the shipping's built into it. But if you're out of the country, right, then the additional cost of shipping on top of that will be worked into the shipping amounts. So only people out of the country pay shipping. You know what I mean?
Okay.
based on how Indiegogo works. You know what I mean? Like everybody else in the United States, the shipping is built into the cost. So.
I really like that approach. There's nothing, dude. When I go to back a project, and I think I'm sitting at 68 right now. When I go to that, I click that button and it says 0 shipping. I don't know. There's just some weird joy that comes with that. So I think that's a really cool approach.
Well, what it is that I think people don't even realize. Like I've made it real big, bold print right before all the pictures. You know what I mean? So let people know. But I still think people are not reading even that. You know what I mean? Because people like still think that there's shipping on top of this, and there's not. So if you think it costs $10 to ship a comic book, which is pretty much the shipping and handling of the general comic book, right?
Yeah.
Then you'll be getting chapter 1 for $5, which is basically the retail rate you'd get at a freaking comic book store for a bagged and boarded comic book with a few extras. You know what I mean? So if you're thinking that you're paying $15, paying $15 coming, and it's coming shipped, you know what I mean? And if you're getting in the stretch goals, so it's like, and I have a rule about stretch goals that I'm a little bit loose on, you know what I mean? But I'd only guarantee stretch goals to people that back before printing. Okay. So if you back after the printing on chapter 2, you're probably not going to get the stretch goals for chapter 2. You can't guarantee. I'm not guaranteeing it. And the reason why is I'm counting who gets printed. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I'm not going to overrun too much of these things. You know what I mean? I do have to overrun to some degree because I got to get the print numbers right.
Hey, I think, the number one thing is just, being upfront and transparent about these things. I don't see that as any kind of issue at all. Yeah.
So if you back it late, you might miss out on the stretch goals.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. So,
which should encourage people to get them down back so they can get them stretch goals, because there's a trading card at 3,000, and it's the Jim trading card, and it's the character. If you look at the cover, the character who's the bartender, you know what I mean? He is a big part of the series moving forward, right?
Okay.
Everybody in the trading cards, just they're not just like some willy-nilly people. They're people who are a big part of the series moving forward. And let me just tell you, this is something I got to be careful I don't say too much. But there is some really big things happening that are coming in to play that are subtly being introduced that has a long-term, like I'm slowly building up like to a villain that you haven't even met yet and won't even really meet officially in the entire Rise of the Pirate King chapters. He'll be in the next book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm slowly building up to this guy who's going to actually be one, because Love's going to have a lot of nemesis, just so you know.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
But he's going to be one of Love's biggest nemesis.
Okay.
For a lot of different reasons. I don't want to explain it. I don't want anybody to have any kind of clue. I want it to be a surprise when it happens.
Nice.
But you guys are going to love everything about this nemesis, including the name.
Okay. All right. And now, are we even gonna get that by the 3rd chapter, or is that
yes? No.
Start hinting at it?
So like in chapter 3, right? In chapter 2, the hinting actually is already started. Actually, in chapter 1, the hinting has existed since the beginning. In fact, I might have even like let stuff slip over live streams in the past of like more hints to this character. Okay, but his hints have always been there, all right? But they get more and more pronounced as we go along. You will not know the answer to who he's going to be by chapter 6 still. You still will not know. However, you may have some suspicions if you're clever and you know me well enough to think that you know how where I'm going with some of my ideas.
Oh, cool. I like
I mean?
that.
So
Nice.
so there is, I mean, we're talking about, I had a backstory book and I've had chapter 1 out there. So virtually nobody's had their guts full yet. You know what I mean? So it's like where this is going is very, very robust. You know what I mean? When we get there, you guys are gonna be like, oh man, I'm so glad I was along for that ride. You know what I mean? Because if you come back after the fact, you're gonna be like, oh, I missed out when that was fresh, and I missed out on those things, and I could have had this, and I could have had that. It's like, come along for the ride. You know what I mean? jump on board. I'm gonna start calling like fans of Captain Love lovers or something. I think that's what I'm gonna start doing. Start calling everybody lovers. If you're a fan of Captain Love, you're a lover. You know, it might sound a little gay for a while, but it will catch on.
So would you say that the feature, if you're someone who has not experienced Captain Love at all, is this feature tier the number one way to jump in?
Yes, definitely, because you will have volume 1, which is the backstory, tells you exactly who Captain Love and everything you need to know about him to move forward. It gives you chapter 1, which starts this whole new Rise of the Pirate King scenario storyline. It gives you a good setup. You know, Rot can give you, he's read it. He can give you a little bit of his book report on that. And then chapter 2, which is what's going to be coming out, which immediately follows up on where chapter 1, left off. You know what I mean? And every one of these books doesn't leave you anything. That gives you a cliffhanger, but it doesn't leave you hanging.
Yeah, exactly. I can speak to that as well. Yes, and that's, you know, this is one of the big challenges in writing comic book stories, and it's something that a lot of new creators kind of don't understand or kind of overlook. Is that yes, you're creating a bigger story here, but you've got to give people something contained. At least some component of it must be contained in each issue, and if you could pull that off as a writer, you're doing a great job.
Yeah, that's why, you know, it's funny that people keep asking, why do you call it chapters? I mean, that cracked me up when the first time I heard it, because I was like, okay, didn't you ever take a writing class? Because
Right.
you know what I mean? Because it's like a chapter is a story arc inside the larger story arc. You know, every chapter tells part of the story. You know what I mean? And it's like the reason why you do chapters is so that you can give a reader a breaking point, so they can take a story in bites.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's like day one writing class. You know what I mean? It's like, you know.
And I do want to reiterate for everybody who might have missed it, and just because it's badass, all domestic U.S. shipping, he's not charging shipping domestically on any of these tiers. I think that's fantastic. So when you see $40 for chapter 1, chapter 2, and volume 1, it's $40.
If you live in the United States.
Yes, if you're in the United States. And that's, man, that can be the thing that really, like, people go, okay, I'm in then. I'm going to do it.
What are you getting for $40? You're getting a 72-page graphic novel with an amazing print, an amazing artwork, high quality, smells good, and that ain't no joke, right? You're getting that, plus you'll be getting a chapter 1, right? So you'll have volume 1, a chapter 1, right? Which is a 24-page comic, and it's a high-quality print. High-quality print, it comes bagged and boarded, which makes it worth $5 by itself. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
Just like that. If in a comic book store, any print like that would be worth $5 just like this, like that, right?
Yeah.
But then this also, while supplies last and while I'm still doing it, you know what I mean? Because I have a lot of them. And some will be this. If you get stretch goals on your chapter 2, you'll get your stretch goals as well, which will increase the value of your book, right? So you'll get 2 of these.
Very nice.
One, chapter 1, chapter 2, which hasn't been printed yet, which is why you can't see it. And volume 1.
Even, you know, I have chapter 1, obviously I showed that, but even for me, I'm like, okay, I could just get chapter 2 for 20, but I'm like, why? I'm kind of like, I want that volume 1, man. I want that graphic novel too. That seems like almost the best way for me to go.
Yeah, and like let's say if you are like, okay, you know what? I don't want to wait till the end of the campaign. I want love now. Okay? Well, I have your solution. Chapter 1 and volume 1 campaigns are still active and in demand. So, you can go and buy, let's say you
Oh, right.
you-
Okay.
Let's say you like you haven't read anything, but you want something now. You can go and buy volume 1, The Hero of the Cleansing, right now, on in demand, and it'll ship out to you tomorrow.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's really cool. Yeah.
And
nice.
then you can buy chapter 1 and chapter 2 here. You know what I mean? And wait for that to come out when chapter 2 ships.
Got
you
it.
know? Or you can buy chapter 1 and volume 1 on their individual campaigns and just wait for chapter 2 to ship. It's really up to you, but you'll save money doing it this way.
Right. Uh, Christine just mentioned as well, and I believe she's in the UK,
Hmm.
and just checked out shipping on the feature perk, and shipping was only $15 to the UK, and I've come across shipping that is higher than the cost of one comic. So
That
you're
is
even though you do have to obviously it's expensive to ship outside the
that's the
US.
difference. That's the shipping difference.
You're not gouging for it. You're literally charging as little as you possibly can for it.
I am actually charging as little as I possibly can. I am trying to compete with LCS prices and obviously having to deal with the shipping. Seriously, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to
Nice.
give you LCS prices because
Nice.
if we can't compete with the LCS pricing model, then we kind of it's like, I mean, if the crowdfunding model is one thing, you know what I mean? I understand you want to charge extra because we're crowdfunding and all that kind of stuff. But guess what? The market's changing. All right. Even though we're still using crowdfunding platform, the market's changing. Not everybody is going to want to pay $25 for a book. And especially if it's only a 48 page book. And the reason why is because there's so many people out there who are crowdfunding now. Right.
Right.
How like a year ago, just a year ago, it would have been like five books tops crowdfunding, like active campaigns
At any given time, right?
Well,
Yeah.
at this time of
Yeah.
year, like last year, I think there was 5 tops. You know what I
Right.
mean? That were crowdfunding.
I can't imagine how many are going right now.
There's like 15 or 20, easy,
Right.
and there probably more, right?
Yeah.
That are active campaigns, not even just in demand, but I mean active campaigns. So it's really like one of those things. Does Cap Love hair ever come into play in the plot? Does he swing it? One minute maybe he chokes a bitch from pregnancy. Obviously, you haven't read chapter 1. Rod, you want to tell him how Captain Love's ponytail comes into play?
Hey
in
man,
chapter
I'm
1?
not, dude. Those
You
are
read it.
those are big kind of moments. We don't want to give anything. We don't
Yeah.
want to give that kind of thing away, man.
Let's just say that it becomes a handle for a girl who wants to sit on his face in chapter 1.
Yes, the hair is a character unto itself for sure.
It is part of the trope I've created for this character, and I who knows what the future brings. But that the bartender, their character, that's the one that's going to be the Jim. He runs the House Kronos, which is a spaceship landed on Titan, and it is basically a hotel and bar that he runs. And Titan's a moon of Saturn, for anybody who doesn't know.
Dang, Christine's been busy. Says she's backed about 65 in the last 3 months. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was early on in CG. I got in some hot water for sure, backing too many too fast.
Oh yeah, I bet. 65. Let's just give her some clout. 65 times the average price of $35, because that's 25 for the book plus $10 shipping. That's the average. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's
She's
less.
in the UK, so she's like me. She pays $20.
Paying
Yeah, so
even
she's-
more
so
for
she's
that
paying
shipping.
even more.
Between 20
Well, this thing, if she just
$25
paid,
shipping.
let's for the benefit of the doubt, let's just say she paid an average of $35. That's $2,275 in comic books. To the
Amazing, man.
I know this because I've backed 80 in the last year.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
no,
it's expensive.
The thing about it is yeah, obviously that's expensive, and if you're just looking at it, from a technical aspect or very like machine like, but to me it's just like in your particular situation. This isn't just about getting yourself a comic book. It's about also enabling somebody to keep creating, somebody to keep doing what they love doing. To me, it's part of a much bigger picture to me.
Yeah. Every backer is part of the future of Captain Love to me. Just so you know what I mean. If you've backed Captain Love at any given time, you know what I mean. To me, you are a part of the future of Captain Love. You have helped it come to play. You have taken it, even if it's just a little baby step. That little baby step's a necessity. You know what I mean. I need 1 million of those little baby steps. So every one of those little baby steps is an absolute necessity. And I appreciate every single one of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to really drive home for people, or any tiers that you'd really like to go over with us?
Well, there's a couple of things. Okay,
Okay.
so like if you look here, there's the exclusive NET variant one, volume 1 variant. Okay,
Yes.
this is the last of these. This will
Okay.
ever be reprinted as a book. There was
Oh.
100 of them made.
So
all
you've
right?
only got 8 left.
And there's 8.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
so just so you know, this is the most exclusive book in the Captain Love collection and will always be. I'm never going to print anything less than 100. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So
Wow.
it's the most exclusive book and always will be. When these are gone, you're going to have the exclusive book. 10 years from now, these books are going to be valuable. Right? If Captain Love has a great future, I mean, here's the thing: I'm pushing and pushing and pushing. At some point, I'm gonna have a fucking video game done. If I have to make it my damn self, I'm a
Right.
I'm a programmer. I'm a programmer.
Yeah.
I can make it happen. You know what I
Right.
mean? It would just take me forever. You know what I mean? So if that's the case, eventually, someday, I'm gonna have enough money to probably get the work started on a Captain Love movie. You know what I mean? I may be 75 when that happens. You know what I mean? It may be
Right.
a long time down the road, but someday when it happens, you're going to have this book. You're going to have this one. And you're
Yeah.
going to be like, oh, this is the most valuable Captain Love book in the collection.
Now, how many total of these did you print?
100 were printed.
Only 100. Damn. Now
Only
that is the
100.
definition of collectible right there.
Yes.
Damn. Okay. Very cool.
Yeah, so that's worth the buy if you're especially if you believe in this series and where it's going. And if you listen to my passion, I don't stop. And if you guys ever been in a debate with me, you'd be like, oh yeah, he's never given up on this shit.
That's for sure.
All right.
All right.
And then the other thing that I want to point out that's really important to people is the fact that you can get the posters. Okay.
Yes.
The posters are, I know if you look here, there's a poster pack A and poster pack B. Nobody's really got into those, okay, yet. And I think it's because people just aren't used to buying posters like this. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the custom poster pack, let's say you don't like what's in
that's
pack
really
A
cool.
or pack B, you can mix this, match this, however you want the same poster 3 times, you can get it. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's interesting. I hadn't even considered that. Right. Yeah. Okay.
So maybe you got 2 friends and you guys want to go in and you all want the same poster.
Yeah.
You can do that. Here.
Okay.
Yeah. Because the posters
Very
haven't
nice.
been, I'm obviously, can always print more and they haven't been printed yet. So I'm going off, I can always bump up the count for any individual poster. So, you know what I mean? It makes
Right.
sense. And there's this custom aspect of it. It's like a t-shirt where you can do size and color and that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? That should be used more within Indiegogo. It's not used often enough. I think, and again, I think people just don't understand it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I didn't even think about doing the custom poster pack. Just that's not my idea. It's actually one of my customers that thought of that. He says, you know
Beautiful.
what? He says, you know what? I want to get your posters, but I don't want the any of the ones that are in either of those 2 packs. And he's like, is there a way we can get something else? And I'm like, yeah, I made him a custom poster perk, made it for everybody based on what he said he wanted, and then commented back to him, told him it was there. I mean, within 3 minutes of my commenting back to him, boom, he got himself his poster.
There you go, dude. That's how I love that component of not just CG, but just this whole indie kind of blossoming movement here, where it's about the customers, it's about that interaction, it's about the give and take between the creator, the fans, and being open to okay, you want that? I think that sounds like a great idea. Here it is. That's beautiful.
For me, it's about making this thing happen for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is for real, but I'm still in the baby steps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Once Rise of the Pirate King is a graphic novel and all the chapters are done, just so you know, you'll be, after I get to the print of the graphic novel, it's going to be virtually impossible to get these things. And it might be impossible to get yourself an additional copy of chapter 1 without me reordering. You know what I mean? Because I'm not,
Sure.
I may not reorder. Just so you know, I may say, you know what? Wait till the graphic novel comes out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just, and because in LA, if this is popular, I have no idea how it's going to be received. You know what I mean? But I'm going to be there 3 days. There's going to be roughly 75,000 people walking through past.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're gonna sell a lot of copies. For
I'm
sure.
gonna move a lot of products.
Yeah,
you know
you
what
are.
I mean? And so the thing is if you want it, you better get it now because it may not be around later.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Or
And of
come
course
to
you
LA.
can get,
Come to LA Comic Con and get it there.
and of course you can get the full 6 poster pack. You can get the 6 posters with 3 T-shirts. Damn.
Yeah, all posters and T-shirts. You can get that right there, and you can get everything. You can get all posters, T-shirts, and all 3 books. That
So
one
this
actually,
this is the ultimate
yeah,
package
I have that
right here.
Yeah, and for anybody who was on the mailing list, you get a
Yeah.
link to that with a discount, and that one has
Okay.
been snapped up a few times. So, you know what I mean? The people
That's
have
crazy,
seen
man.
that they can get it all with a discount, and they've like taken up on it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. This is.
And don't forget to play the video.
Yeah,
they can hear the
we're-
earworm. Now there's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
Peter.
yeah.
It's either Peter Gilmore. The all you need is the From Venus with Love poster. It obviously is a throwback to James Bond.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Very nice, man.
And then that is Pat Maxton, who is Doodlebags, who drew Vestige 2.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's great.
And then that T-shirt has the cover art of chapter 1.
I really like the treatment you did with this
Yeah.
because there's nothing I really don't like it when it's just like a rectangle of art on a T-shirt.
Yeah, that bugs me too.
Yeah, it drives me insane. So this looks really nice, man.
Yeah. So that is, I'm waiting for mine to arrive, just so you know. I'm like, I can't wait to put that thing on my body when it gets
Yeah. Yeah, Christine, it's so true. The interaction is a massive part of buying books this way. It's so great to actually speak and interact with the creators, artists, letters, etc. It really is. And and when it comes to letters and color, there are people that make these comics possible that aren't typically in the spotlight, that don't really get to have that experience. So it is a true evolution of what comic books are and how fans can interact with comics. It's really cool.
And even though I do run my own show where I promote other creators and stuff like that, I find it very hard to get myself in front of new fans. I find it very hard. I've been trying to get creative in a whole lot of different ways. I hit everybody up that will like read my messages. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's hard to push through. There's people who have popular shows that if I was on their show, I probably move a whole lot of books. They probably don't even. They know I exist, but they probably don't even know that I'm have an active campaign.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, man. It's that's why I think we're all doing as much as we possibly can in terms of trying to grow these platforms, build a network of, we're all trying to climb up that ladder a little bit because we can really. That's how we help each other.
Well, the smartest advice that I give everybody is this: build your contact list, right? And milk it. Okay, just those are your fans, even if they're not hardcore. Some of them are mild. Even if they're anti-fans, people who hate you, but they follow you because they hate you. You know what I mean?
We all have those.
Yeah, you want to lock them down. You don't want anything to be reliable on anybody else because you never know what's going to happen. One day Indiegogo may go away. One day crowdfunding may just fizzle out and nobody wants to buy comics through that medium anymore. You never know. But if you have an emailing list, if you have shipping addresses, right? You can send people postcards. You can send them emails. You can send them discounts. You can send them enticements. You can send them advertisements. You know what I mean? They've signed up for that. They're down for it. They're okay with it. There's going to be the 1 or 2 people who are like, fuck, what's this shit? But most of the people are going to be like, oh, cool. He just sent me a fucking cool ass artwork postcard. Holy fuck, this is awesome.
That's
You know
smart.
what I mean?
I remember getting a postcard. I think it was Zaid Comics Magic Cop. I was like, yeah, this is classy, man. I really like this idea.
Yeah,
sure.
and that's the kind of stuff, and it just that's the kind of stuff that people appreciate, and by doing that, obviously we can only do it to people who've backed us because we have their address. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's not customer service. It's customer engagement. You know what I mean? It's like
Sure.
you want the customers to feel connected. You want the customers to think, you know what, it's like he actually gives a shit about me, and I'm actually helping him, and I'm getting a cool book on top of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. All right. Any final thing you want to say on this project? I think we're gonna.
like I'll ever run out of shit to say on this project.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I highly recommend if you haven't jumped on Captain Love, just
jumped on Captain
get-
Love. Yeah, jumped on Captain Love.
just snag this, get this featured tier. It's going to give you everything you need to really be engaged with this project and know the whole story moving forward. That's the way to go. But he gives you so many options and ways to be a part of this thing. Really fantastic, man. And I'm confident that this thing's going to get legs. It's gonna happen. You know, you're building it up, and in demand is a powerful thing with Indiegogo. You know,
it's just a matter of time. You know what I mean? Eventually it's going to get in front of the right person, the right people, the right something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's if it was a shitty fucking indie comic, I would admit that it was. It's not. It's good story. It's great art, great print job, and I mean, it deserves to have a long life. And I'm not saying that because I wrote it. I mean, I gave birth to it, you might say.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So I'm more proud of it as my child than I am, you know what I mean, as it's, like, oh, me. No, it's this is, you're gonna love this, enjoy it, you know what I mean, kind of thing. I want to share it with the world.
Absolutely. And I do want to, before we're gonna show this. I love this song, man. I love this song. And you did you write the lyrics? Is this song all you?
Every bit of it. And
okay.
I used GarageBand's drum tracks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But obviously I modified them to make them work right, you know what I mean, like significantly, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So if you understand, that's almost like playing it yourself, or at least or hiring a drummer and telling him how to play. It really almost is the same thing.
Yeah.
And then I used the built-in MIDI to GarageBand to lay down the bass track, and then I played both guitar tracks, and I sang and wrote the lyrics and everything.
It's so much fun. So I think what I'm going to do for today's show is I'll close out the show with that. I do want to shout out, this is I kind of just got the idea. I think it's more like Sim really played a big factor in wanting to do this, but trying to put together a 24-hour comic, it's really... I don't know. It's already been. There's a lot of excitement in it. I'm really curious to see how it's going to play out. I do have a link in the description below where you can get all the details about it. If you're an artist and you want to be a part of this thing, I've only got 14 slots left open. 10 artists have signed up already. This is going to be a wild ride. It's going to be a 24-hour live stream. At the end of it, we're going to have basically a little mini comic. So I'm really excited about this project.
Is the story like not even discussed yet and all that kind of stuff?
Oh no, it's going to be completely organic.
Awesome.
The first artist will start the project. The second artist will play off the first, and on down the line. It's going to be all organic.
Oh, so wait, so you should incorporate writers. You know
what I mean?
Well,
my thought on that is, once the whole just completely visual storytelling based project, right, with the artists. But then after, when the thing's done, I'm thinking about having a writing competition to see who can write the best.
Well, I would say
art.
I would say get your writers and get your letterers involved, because that'll obviously bring more attention to the overall stream from the beginning. And then what you do is you have your writers team start in the first hour, right?
Ooh, okay.
You know what I mean? And then they come up with what's in the first page, and then that artist is on it. And the writing team, and then
there's no improv on the artist.
Yeah.
No, the artist is always there's always improv. There's always improv, because there's no way that
the idea is to start the first one starts with a theme. Then after
but what you're doing is you're
next. It's like the comedy thing. It's like
but what you're doing sim. But at the end, you're making the artist, you're making the writers, write a story to pictures, you know what I mean, after the fact, which in all reality, it should be story
Yeah,
before
but what
art,
I'm saying
and
is
then the
that's a total different freaking monster, and that'll probably take an entire weekend to set all this shit up and run it.
nah, no, not if you have it on time schedule. So you guys come up with something right now.
Yeah,
boom,
and
boom,
that's
boom,
what
boom,
I,
and
I've got a whole spreadsheet set up with the signups. It's been a lot of fun to think about and organize. I hear what you're
you can
saying,
do
and
it.
I'm working
You
out
can
the
do it.
details. It's possible that I would incorporate something like that on this one. I really want to see what the artists do,
Oh
just
yeah, no,
playing off of each
the
other.
artists are still going to do something, but
Yeah,
what I'm
it's going to
saying
be
is that
fun.
you can draw more people into the because the writers themselves, will promote the stream
Sure.
for you, and
Yeah.
then what you have like say 3 writers an hour. You know what I mean? So like the first hour, who making the first page is like these 3 writers. Second
Yeah.
page, different 3 writers,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And they're telling the
Yeah.
artist what to draw. You know what I mean? So he's not just like, oh well, I just draw whatever and doesn't. You know what I mean? That makes the story more congruent. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
like say after when the first hour, like maybe the first hour is done, right? The guy's drawing in the second hour or something like that. You know what I mean? And then so the first page is in the second hour or whatever, and then
Yeah.
you know what I mean. And then he hands it off to a letterer or a couple of letterers.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're lettering it in the third hour while the second page is being drawn in the third hour, and the third page is being discussed while he's lettering the. You know what I mean? You could have
I love it. Yeah. Well, dude,
trickling down.
I'm hoping, based on how this goes, I'm hoping it's something, a 24-hour live stream. I've done a few of them in my day. Definitely grueling. I wouldn't want to do it all the time, but if this goes well, if people have a lot of fun with it, it is something that I want to keep doing. So we're going to have all kinds of variations on it. It's going to be a lot of fun for sure.
Yeah, I'm not trying to tell Sim that he's wrong or anything. It's just that I think that if you just do artists first, you're kind of like giving the middle finger to the rest of the crew that write.
The thing is that this shit all
No.
started because it was a whole bunch of people on that drawing stream and went, hey, we could do a freaking thing. It's because it's the artist that started it on that stream.
Oh, and I do want to let the artists know, including you, Sim, that we won't be using for the 24-hour comic. Each artist is going to be able to use their own setup, their own optimized setup completely for producing the art. We're not going to be using the other thing.
Artists are also writers, so it doesn't mean that the artist it's like the artists who are drawing it, doesn't mean that they're not also in the writing team.
Of course, yeah,
You know what I mean?
for sure.
So-
Yeah, I get what you're
so,
saying.
yeah.
I like it. Yeah,
Or it would be even cooler if the artist who's drawing page 1 is a writer for page 3.
right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then
Either way,
he's not writing his own drawing, but he's still contributing.
You want to know we're all in trouble because you know who snagged the final panel of this project?
Who?
George Peter Gatsis.
Oh, fun times.
We're all doomed, man. So yeah, we don't know
That's
what's.
going to be an obscure
be
panel. No matter what. Yeah.
And then
That'll be a funny conclusion.
I think it will be. And David Feed snagged that first panel, which was brave, man. So he's diving in first.
I really
gonna...
like the team. I really like the teamwork aspect of it. The more teamwork you emphasize on it, the more I see it turning out to be a beautiful project in the end. Because any one person can throw it off. If the illustrator is working off of what the writing team decides, you know what I mean? Then it's less likely to be thrown into fucking oblivion.
Yeah. I don't mind Oblivion. I'm down with a little Oblivion
The first
myself.
time we did it, it was pretty much each his own type of thing. So you could have a team or not, and just try and do like the most pages you could in 24 hours of a story. And the two only ones that finished was me and Beacon.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
We were still up after 24 hours with a short story.
Yeah.
Mine was called Centipede.
Yeah. Well, you could put the
Centipede.
Yeah, it was
you could put the slower artists towards the front. So like if they don't get done in the first hour, they can actually just keep working on it until it's done.
Right. I do want to say too, obviously, each artist is going to be working on it an hour while that artist is working. And I plan on having people popping in and out. It's going to be pretty organic, but we'll be promoting the artist's work. We'll be promoting any projects they might be involved with. So the artists are going to get a lot of exposure out of it. And I'm just looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I just think it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
And
All right. Are
we're
we
gonna
ready?
like watching it.
Are we ready for some love?
I am.
Let's play this song. I love this song. All right, here we. And then I'll probably, Sim, is there anything you'd like to shout out? I'm probably just gonna, as the song comes to a close, I'm probably just gonna end the stream there.
Yeah, hold on a sec. Let me just show this.
And of course, I've got the link to Tales from the Napverse is down below in the description.
It's a little something I did yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah, I saw that.
nice, man.
He just jumps out the cockpit and lands on his
It
feet.
just drops. Yeah.
That's cool. I saw a different animation piece you had done too. It's like,
That one? No.
The one that turns around and points at the camera.
yeah, pretty slick, man.
Yeah.
How is that? How is working with animation? Very time consuming, yeah.
Yes and no. Like the
Hey,
final,
hey,
like
hey.
all clean colored product, it's time consuming, right?
Yeah.
But I did that little animation yesterday in like what 10 minutes, 15 minutes when I was talking with Beacon yesterday.
Nice. That's cool. Michael Beacon,
Yeah.
7legions.com, obviously.
Yep. 7
Boom.
Legions. It's printed. You can order it, get it in the next few days.
All
Yeah.
right.
And here's a
Nice.
little sneak peek. It's what's coming in issue 3. It's one of the demons. They got this like nanite armor that makes them pretty much invulnerable. So they're going to be a huge threat.
Beautiful. I like that. You know, it reminds me of Bram, the Dracula film, Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah.
That
I was
armor in
thinking
that, so
Yeah.
badass. I love that.
Thanks. Yeah.
Very cool.
Have you seen that set of wings that dude made for himself? They're the robot wings that he has it powered by an electrical generator on his back, so it's like lightweight. They're
No.
like that. They're like actual like demon wings like
Dang.
size,
Yeah.
Nice.
and they glide like he can jump and glide with them.
Oh, damn.
You know what I mean? So like when he's gliding, they can flap and keep him in the air longer. But they don't flap fast enough to get him up in the air. He has to like jump off like a hang glider.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what those make me think of. I mean, they're not
Yeah.
quite like that, but he's like it's like yeah.
See, I had made some wings for a cosplay once. They couldn't help me fly or anything or glide. I would probably fall to my death. But I had a pull cord. You pull them and they like unfold and everything. It was really cool. But one more thing. Next person to back 7 Legions, go get this drawing.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Check your DMs. Phil
Okay,
just
let's
revealed
give that a second. I just posted the link to 7 Legions in the chat.
All right.
Folks, the next person to back 7 Legions is going to get this drawing right here,
Yep.
included with their purchase, and that'll ship out. You're saying instantly.
Yep. You back in the next few minutes. I'll wrap it up, box it, and have it in my mailbox before the mailman gets here.
That is really sweet, dude. I like that. I'm going to
Thanks.
bring up your page here real quick.
All right.
You let the mailman pick up your packages? I don't trust my mailman to do that.
It's worked out for me so far. I mean, I guess it's no worse than dropping it off at the post office.
Well, I can order a pickup that I would do, and I consider doing it. Where like I could just say I'm gonna if I'm gonna have a big fulfillment. They told me that I can do this because I brought it in, and they're really annoyed that I came in there with a bunch of packages to ship out, and they were already paid for it and all that, but they still had to deal with the box of things. They said you know that you can call ahead, and we will come out to your house with a bucket and collect all these in our truck and take
Wow.
them away. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, really? Okay. I thought that I'll try that next time.
And when I was helping Sim ship his blood hunt packages, I just dropped them off all at once. I get there, I was like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, they hate that. They hate that.
Yeah, I bet.
I did the same.
Yeah.
I gave
So
her
they'll come and pick them up for you?
Yeah.
Like
they'll come
No
to your
extra
house,
charge.
wherever you like. Obviously, if your house has a mailbox and they drop mail to your house,
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
they will come to your house and they will bring one of those big plastic bins to the door, and you will fill it, and they will take it back. And if you have more, they'll bring another plastic bin, and you will fill it, and they'll take it back, and they'll put it in their little Jeep, and then they'll drive away.
That's actually really good to know, because I'm sure a lot of people are like taking the whole damn horde of it to the post office themselves. That's cool.
I have been
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
had to because during the corona there was a moment where they wouldn't do pickup in close living area. So I had to go. They said they're gonna come pick it up. Then I got a phone call going, "Oh, we can't go in that area," and that's it.
Mm,
So
Damn, that
it
sucks.
depends. Like,
right.
Yeah, there's always something. You know what I mean? But my house they'll come because I have a house and a you know what I mean, and a mailbox address here. Some houses they have a post office box because they don't mail at their house.
Yeah, yeah.
They won't go there. Apartments, you know what I mean, that have a big mailbox. Sometimes they won't go there. You know what I mean? So it really comes down to what your mail situation is. Yeah. If you have an office, if you're like at an office situation, you know what I mean, they will come to the office door. So
All right. Thanks for being here, Christine. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
definitely.
Oh, yeah.
And for those who, if you're just showing up here and you didn't hear, Michael Beacon is offering to the next backer of 7 Legions, which will ship out immediately to you. You will also receive this drawing right here,
Yep.
included with your package. So, if anyone wants to snag that, man, it's a good opportunity.
Yeah.
No takers yet.
Oh.
All right. Well, that offer's on the table. I'm assuming that offer is valid after this stream ends as well.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's get back to Captain Loves.
just check your DMs first because Phil released a cover for that I did for Lost Pages Vein. I've been waiting 2 weeks for this shit.
Oh, okay.
I shared you the link. Yeah.
Sim. Oh,
We got it colored.
all right. Okay, let me.
I like the logo. Person that did the logo nailed it.
Let's check this out. Yeah, this is cool. Oh, right, that gun, man. The
It's a
logo
Demon
looks
Hunter
top
from hell.
notch. I love it. Nice.
It's a rune fueled gun. So
Very nice.
it's interesting. That's one of the short stories that you find in the bonus book in the Lost Pages by Phil and Brendan.
Very cool. Edwin, will do.
Oh,
There is a close-up. This is the drawing you will receive. The next backer of 7 Legions, which will ship out to you immediately. You will also receive this drawing.
yep.
Very
B, can you
nice.
leave presents in your neighbor's yard?
Allegedly.
Nice. Yeah, the logo turned out great. This is cool.
Did you make the logo, Sim?
Nope. No, I don't know. That's why I said I don't know who did it. I don't remember the name.
I know.
It's freaking
I
amazing.
can't quite remember. I know there was. I think it was the artist who did the Masquerade storyline. Also created all the logos for the Lost Pages. I
I think
believe.
you're right. There, that one, dude, it's freaking cool. I loved it.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely one of his better pieces for sure.
Oh,
Nice.
thanks. I also I don't know, like when I was telling, like I see like that cover could also be a statue, and that's the approach I had with it. Like if you look at it, it could be sculpted as a.
You're
statue,
right. Yeah,
yeah.
it would absolutely work as a statue. Yeah.
Have you started sculpting it yet?
I'm gonna be sculpting my own character soon, though.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's right. Okay, guys, we're coming up on the well, basically, if you add in all the mess ups earlier, we're definitely at 2 hours. Thanks for coming on, Drew. I think this is the first time maybe you've popped on here a couple times
No,
in the past.
I've been when you just started doing these morning repartee things. I think I was in like one. I popped
Yeah,
on one of
yeah.
those. Yeah.
But I've never
I-
really had you on to like talk about Captain Love or anything like that. It's really,
No,
really
not
cool
yet.
having you.
Yeah, I thank you. I appreciate it. Usually this time of day, I got clients blowing up my phone, but the pandemic has slowed that down a lot.
Yeah,
So,
dude. I know it hurt. I'm in, print publishing and the advertising side. It's
Yeah, I mean,
suffered
that's
so hard.
for people who don't know. I mean, I work in marketing. I do advanced web programming is the biggest bulk of my money because it's I have a client that sends regular. They even cut back half, right? What they were doing. And they're preschools, you know what I mean? So obviously they lost a lot of kids because those kids are home, you know what I mean? And so they have financial issues. So I was like, okay, I'll work with you. I know we have a contract, but we'll pull it back, you know what I mean? And we'll work it out. And then I've had a bunch of clients that were restaurant people who not just had me do like web work for them, but they also had me do marketing for them, social media marketing, video production stuff, all these things that I I do print work, video work, web work, all kinds of stuff to make ends meet here. And most of I'd say more than half of it's been gone. Just
that hurts,
poof.
man.
Poof.
Oh,
That's
Edwin
right.
says it's the Owl Comic. That's his nickname.
Okay. Yeah.
there's a logo.
That's right. Thanks, Edwin. Yeah, the logo, all the logos for Lost Pages are really rocking. They capture the vibe of that particular storyline really well. I want to just thank the whole panel. Thanks, Sim, Drew, Michael. Thank you guys for being on the show. The chat has been awesome today. Really, a lot of good back and forth in terms of overcoming the vices. The topic of the day. Really appreciate that. And we are going to close out this stream with this awesome.
When you say goodbye to everybody before we play the video, they all split before it plays, right?
No, man.
That doesn't
People love this song. It's a great way to close out the show.
It's a great trailer to a great book.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you kindly.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you tomorrow for sure.
Hi, my name is Drewish, and I'm the author of the Captain Love series. I want to tell you all about the second book, Rise of the Pirate King. Yeah, that's a thing. And in this book, you're gonna get everything that you would expect from Captain Love. Yeah, you bet. And I'm blessed enough to be able to use an amazing creative team. If you know what I mean, it feels like the universe is caving in and you need love to the rescue. And it seems like nothing will be right again. You need love to the rescue. Captain Love to the rescue. All right now. Now, Captain Love is a space trucker and a former war hero. There is even a legend that he may be immortal. He's accompanied by Spade, who's a living AI. Yes, I said immortal. As in, he cannot die. It feels like the universe is caving in. You need love to the rescue. And it seems like nothing will be right again. You need love to the rescue. Captain Love to the rescue. Oh yeah. In this book, you'll get space pirates, sexy girls and science monks. There'll be bar fights, space battles, and a lot of awesome junk. There's nudity and violence and swearing within, so this book is mature. That means it's not made for children. And you feel like the universe is caving in. There'll be love to the rescue. And it seems like nothing will be right again. LV Love to the rescue. Captain 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 Love to the rescue.
Thank you for your time. Please back Captain Love and help me share